Hello guys, first of all I'd like to say hello and welcome to this multiple part series course where we're going to be diving into why you should consider and why you should buy off plan. Not just that, but I'm going to give you the in-depth details of the process of buying it, the area breakdowns. I'm going to give you so much in this course. But first of all guys, we're going to start with why you should consider buying off plan. And the main topic that we're going to talk about today is what makes it so good. And it's not putting you off the ready market, but I'm going to give you the full breakdown of why you should consider it. So first of all, buying under market value. If you're buying in the off-plan market right now, you're buying under market value. All right, it might seem more expensive than it did 2 years ago if you were looking then, but look at where Dubai is going as a city. It's constantly innovating. The future is looking so bright for this place because they're building so much. You know, not just new malls and all this. They're actually improving the way that they do business. They're making it so accessible for people all around the world to come and live and invest here. If you're watching this video today, you're one of them. So buying under market value right now might not seem as cheap as it was then, but if we look where Dubai is going to be in the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to be blown away. So your chance is now to still get in while the prices are still where they are, considerably low compared to where they will be. Okay? So the return on investment and return on equity is going to be much higher. Now, what you need to know as well, if you're buying something now compared to ready, then the rental that you're going to get from the properties when they're ready over the next 2 years, for example, it isn't going to be as much as the appreciation you're going to make. Because the appreciation we're going to make, which we're going to talk about at the end, about how much you can sort of expect to make, but you'll notice at that point then it's like, well, actually, it makes logical sense, right? I know you want to make, or some people want to make money straight away, so they say, I want something ready, and that's fine if you've got the cash to do it, but if you don't have the cash and you just want to pay in increments, then you should be considering off plan and buying it under market value. Now, interest-free payments. What do I mean by that? Well, when you look at these off plan payment plans, there is zero interest on them. They aren't charging you every time, and the prices aren't going up every time, okay? So, the payment plans are very easy, and I'm going to explain them all in more detail throughout the course, but the idea of what you want to understand here is that you're paying no interest. Like if you were going to get a non-residency mortgage right now from the bank, you're going to be looking at between 6 and 7%. If you're a resident, it'll be slightly lower, but at that point you need to have a business, you need to be generating money over here, or at least funneling money into your business account over here, and then at that point you can go for the residency mortgage, but other than that, if you wanted to get on a payment plan, it's going to be interest-free. And also, I have seen in other countries like the UK, for example, let's say the market rises in value, developers have been known to go into the customers and saying, oh, by the way, the market's gone up, so your apartment's going up, and you're going to have to pay more. That doesn't happen here. Once you're locked into the contract, and once you've signed it, I'm going to pay 2 million dirhams, then it's not going to go up. So you don't need to worry about that. The only payments extra that you'll pay, I guess, are the ones when you're exchanging money. If you're in the UK, US, India, wherever you are, when you're sending the money to Dubai, your bank are going to charge you a small percentage for them fees. But as far as the developer goes, they're not going to pay you any interest. They're not going to make you pay any interest on the payment plan. This is a big one. No commission. Everybody asks me before they're about to buy off plan, Joe, this is great. I want to go for it. What are your fees, by the way? Well, listen, the developer pay us. They pay us directly. So you don't pay us any fees apart from the 4% DLD charge and some administration fees that the developer charge. You don't pay us commission. How much is commission? 2%. If you were going to buy a ready property, you'd be paying your broker 2% commission. So you're not going to be paying any commission to us. Better amenities. What do I mean by that? Well, if we look at any new off-plan developments coming to the city right now, what they end up doing, the developer look at all the surrounding developments, they take out the best bits and they say, what went well, what didn't go well, how can we make it better? So they're constantly improving. So whether that's like rooftop pools, whether that's outdoor cinemas, gyms with sauna, steam, infrared saunas, all this other stuff. Well, if you get into a good development, these more luxury ones, we even see a lot of pools being put on balconies now. We didn't see that a long time ago. We saw these like yellow sandstone buildings with small windows. Now it's like floor to ceiling windows, infinity pools, like I said, saunas, steams, all this kind of stuff. All the developers are now generally going towards that market because they know that's what people want. If I'm going to go and rent a unit in a building, for example, I would love to be able to go down and have like a spa feeling and then go into my infinity pool, maybe with a bar or whatever it has. And what we generally see is the developer now you know, taking all these things into consideration and putting them in the building. Appreciation. If you're an investor, this is what you wanted to hear. How much appreciation can you make from a property? Well, in general, we're sort of seeing appreciation starting at a minimum of 10%. Might not seem a lot, but this depends on where you buy. And this is why throughout the course, we're going to go into more detail about the areas with the most appreciation, which developers to choose and stuff like that. But 10% is the bare minimum we generally like to see, okay? Now, if you're buying a good development in an upcoming part of the Dubai, maybe it's Business Bay, maybe it's Shoba, maybe it's the Mac Lagoons, we can expect a lot more appreciation. If you're patient enough to wait, then you can see appreciation, or what we've seen so far, based on the current market. Previously in COVID, you know, you could buy it really cheap and then the appreciation is much higher, but times have changed. So, you know, between 40 and 60%. It's a realistic price, 40 to 60% increase. And, you know, we see it all the time. Now, if you're buying into a development that, you know, is a really nice development, but the area is not going to be completed by the time your property is ready, then maybe we're not going to see 40 to 60%. Maybe we might see 10 to 20. But then when the surrounding areas, all the landscaping's done, the lagoons are ready, or the new malls have been put in, then we start to see that bigger increase. So you can resell your property before it's ready. That's a big thing we're going to talk about, buying and flipping a bit later on. But if you're patient enough to wait and you've got the cash to wait and to pay it all off, that's when you're going to see the most appreciation. Okay? All right. So these are all things that you need to consider when buying off plan. And we're going to dive deep into it. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed the first part and you're fired up now to learn more about it. So let's go to the next video.